The jungle was unnaturally quiet. Moss-coated ruins stretched like broken bones under a silver dusk. Twisted vines hung from shattered spires, once part of Delta V's colonial outpost, now nothing more than overgrown stone and ghostly silence. A faint fog crept across the ground like it feared what lay within the trees. And Sergeant Cole Maddox was watching. He lay prone beneath a crumbled statue, his body cloaked in active camel mesh, breathing slow and shallow. Through the scope of his M17's rail sniper, he counted the movement, 4 arc-blade soldiers fanning out along the path, their silver armor humming faintly with every step. Standard sweep formation. Predictable. His left hand tapped rhythmically on the rifle's stock. Tick, tick, wait. The lead soldier paused at a pile of rubble. Maddox's finger tightened on the trigger, then eased off. Not yet. He watched their boots brush past the broken tripwire he'd set 15 minutes ago. It wouldn't trigger anything. It wasn't meant to. The soldier raised a clenched fist, halting the squad. Motion detected. 10 meters. His voice crackled through an external translator. The others froze. Weapons up. Visors scanning. But all they saw was an abandoned helmet bobbing gently from a vine. One whispered, "He's toying with us." A second later, Maddox fired. The round hit the second soldier dead center in the throat, slipping just beneath his helmet's seal. A soft thunk, and he collapsed, armor hissing as the suit lost pressure. The others panicked. They fired blindly into the trees. Maddox was already gone. He slipped back into the shadows, weaving through cracked corridors and hanging vines, boots soft on damp earth. His rifle hugged tight to his shoulder. The HUD in his visor flashed a quiet green ping. Enemy reinforcements inbound. 2 minutes. Plenty of time. He stopped near a rusted column and pulled out a palm-sized device. With a flick, it activated a recorded voice loop. "Over here, bucketheads!" The voice echoed from deeper in the ruins. Footsteps followed, exactly as expected. Maddox climbed what was left of a maintenance ladder, setting up on the second floor of a gutted tower. Broken concrete gave him a perfect view of the courtyard. He dropped to a knee and readied the next shot. One by one, the soldiers poured into the open, tracking the voice. No cover. No formation. All eyes forward. He smiled. They never learn. 2 shots. 2 more down. The last tried to run. A third shot caught him mid-stride. Silent. Clean. 3-0. Maddox whispered. He reached to his belt and tapped a signal. Somewhere in the fog, another trap reset. Pressure plates. Gas mines. Crude, yes, but effective. That's all Maddox needed to be. A crackling voice interrupted his calm. "This is Commander Valcor Threx. Cease your pointless resistance, Terran. Your position is surrounded." Maddox raised an eyebrow. That voice hadn't graced the comms before. Valcor. The butcher of Solaris Outpost. The one who ordered Maddox's squad into a false surrender and gunned them down mid-salute. The same bastard now breathing heavy into his headset, pretending he had the upper hand. "You brought a personal entourage for little ol' me?" "I'm flattered," Maddox replied. Static. Then Valcor's voice returned, low and venomous. "You are not special, human. You're simply next." Maddox's grin widened. "Guess I'll have to disappoint." He cut the channel. The jungle was getting louder now. Dropships screeched across the sky, their engines pushing wind through the treetops. More boots on the ground. Maddox adjusted his rifle, letting the barrel rest against the stone. He didn't need to kill everyone. Just enough to make them doubt. Make them fear. Down in the courtyard, a new squad formed ranks, disciplined, heavier armor. Elite arc blades. Maddox zoomed in on the commander. Blue sigils etched into his pauldron. Valcor. Well. Maddox exhaled. Lined up the shot. Calculated distance, wind, trajectory. Finger poised. But he didn't fire. Not yet. Instead, he toggled the comm again. This time, broadcasting to the Coalition's full channel. I see you brought your pretty face down here, Valcor. That's bold. Or stupid. The commander's eyes narrowed. He looked up, scanning the ruined skyline. You will not live to see tomorrow. Maddox snorted. You've been trying for 2 years. Thought I'd make it easier for you. No reply. Just shifting formation. More patrols moving into the ruins. Maddox slipped away again, like smoke. Always ahead, always unseen. He descended a back staircase, reloading as he moved. A flicker of light above, drones scanning rooftops. Good. Let them look. He dropped into a crawl space and triggered another decoy. Heat signatures danced across enemy sensors. He could hear the confusion in their comms now. Shouting. Conflicting orders. No central control. Chaos. Maddox thrived in it. As the jungle descended into gunfire and false targets, Maddox found a safe overlook and activated his final message. Pre-recorded, looped into every Coalition comm unit now within range. It played in his calm, low drawl. You came looking for a ghost. You found him. But ghosts don't die. They haunt. And then, laughter. Twisted, human, and unhinged. The kind of laugh you hear when you realize you're not hunting the monster. You are the prey. The jungle bled light through its torn canopy. Shafts of pale sun slashed between branches, catching on metallic debris and shattered armor. The air smelled of ion burns and damp earth. Somewhere distant, a drone crashed into the canopy in a blossom of flame. Sergeant Cole Maddox crouched behind a half-submerged bunker, fingers running over the cracked remains of an old Terran comms relay. The panel hissed to life. Static first, then a voice. Repeat, any Shadow Corps operative still active, this is Resistance Outpost Echo 9. We're pinned, no evac, no cover. Civilians on board. We need time, 10 minutes at least. Maddox's jaw tightened. Echo 9 was supposed to be dormant, abandoned when the Coalition swept Sector South. He keyed in, voice low. This is Ghost. I've got your signal. You'll get your 10. There was a beat of silence. Then, holy hell, you're real. Unfortunately. He shut the line and stood. His knees cracked, reminders of years under rucksacks and silent marches. 10 minutes to buy. Against a Coalition division. A suicide pact for anyone else. But Maddox had no intention of dying. Not until Valcor bled. He slung his rifle and made for higher ground. As he climbed the mossy wreckage of an old artillery station, his mind flicked back. 2 years ago. Solaris Outpost. His squad had stood, unarmed, under a white flag. Diplomatic surrender. Valcor had spoken the words himself. Lay down arms. You will be treated as prisoners of war. A second later, they opened fire. 13 men died. Maddox survived, buried beneath a friend's body, rage the only thing keeping him breathing. Since then, the jungle had become his home, his weapon, his war cry. He reached the top and pulled out a thin panel of flexible glass. A quick sweep gave him terrain overlays, enemy positions, more dots than he liked. Valcor's men were forming concentric rings. Pressure tactics. Maddox didn't have time to break them all. But he didn't need to. He needed chaos. He scanned the canopy, searching for the old vine bridge that once connected Observation Point Theta to the reactor ruins. Still there. Rotting but passable. Perfect. He slipped across, boots light, rifle secured. Halfway through, a distant voice cut through the trees, raspy, laced with hate. I tire of your games, Ghost. Valcor. You fear capture like all your kind. Maddox paused. Open the channel. Fear's not the issue, Threx. You just haven't made a good offer yet. Valcor hissed through the comms. You're alone. Human. Primitive. Your resistance dies today. Bold words from a man hiding behind drones and armor. Valcor cut the line. Maddox grinned. He reached Theta and opened a small cache buried beneath loose stone, EMP darts, 2 coil charges, and 1 portable decoy unit. Enough. Time to lay a path of misery. First stop, False Trail. He moved fast, leaving broken branches and heat flares along the eastern route. To any tracker, it would look like he sprinted through the ruins in panic. Then he doubled back, cutting through an old water channel and planting the coil charges on the sides. Anyone following that route would get shredded by a directional blast. He kept moving. As he neared the reactor ruins, his comms flared again. Echo 9 to Ghost, we've got enemy movement. 5 clicks. You've got maybe 5 minutes. Copy that. He set the decoy unit down behind a collapsed turbine and activated it. A false Maddox, full thermal signature, heartbeat, even movement tracking, blinked to life, pacing in plain sight. Then he took position in a crack above the structure, rifle aimed, breath still. 1 minute passed. Then 2. Movement. 6 soldiers in arc blade armor dropped into the zone, flanking the decoy. Their leader called out. Target located. Sector 9. As they approached, Maddox fired. First shot tore through a visor, punching clean into the skull beneath. Second hit the shoulder joint of the squad leader, disabling his arm and sending him spinning. The rest opened fire on the decoy. Futile. While they panicked, Maddox vaulted down, low and brutal. He tossed an EMP dart, short range, blinding light. Arcblade staggered. Then came the knife. 2 quick, silent takedowns. 1 soldier raised his rifle. Maddox ducked, drove his knee into the alien's midsection, then snapped the rifle out of his hands and shot him with it. 6 down. He leaned against the wall, chest heaving once. Not from exertion, from focus. The comms chirped again. Echo 9, Ghost. We're clear. Civilians en route to backup site. You did it. He exhaled. Keep moving. Don't stop for anything. His eyes turned upward. The jungle was thinning. Fire and smoke rose from 3 quadrants. Valcor was burning the forest now, forcing him out. Time to shift tactics. Maddox climbed the ridge, reached the old antenna spire. The wind was stronger here. His breath misted. He opened a frequency he hadn't touched in months. Command Black Archive. Authorization Maddox 7-1. Transmit. Authorization accepted. File playback? Play it. Across every coalition unit in Delta V, a single message echoed in Maddox's voice. They called us animals. Said we lacked discipline. Said we were too emotional. Too chaotic. They were right. And we're not sorry. Then, a single laugh. Short. Confident. The laugh of a man who knew the storm was coming, and couldn't wait to greet it. The jungle burned. Smoke slithered up through the canopy, blotting out the stars. Flames chewed through vines and leaves with a slow, relentless hunger. Coalition gunships prowled above, searchlights slicing the gloom. Every corner of the ruins was flooded with motion sensors and patrols. No shadows remained unpierced. Except one. Sergeant Cole Maddox sat in the collapsed core of a radio tower, back against the scorched beam, assembling his last surprise. C4 strips. Nails. Ceramic shards. A motion trip. Pressure plate. Simple. Brutal. Guaranteed to wake the neighborhood. Above him, he could hear boots on steel. Maddox smiled faintly. You're late, he muttered. The calm in his ear cracked. This is Commander Valcor Threx. Surrender now. You will not survive another hour. Maddox didn't respond. He finished wiring the final charge, tucked the plate beneath a broken support, and moved. Quiet as a whisper. He knew the pattern now, how the Arcblade squads swept. How they stacked. They moved like chess pieces. Too bad he played poker. He climbed 2 levels up, ducking under pipes and fallen beams, until he reached the kill zone. An open platform overlooking the courtyard. Wind howled through the gaps. The sniper nest he'd chosen offered a perfect view of the central plaza, where Valcor's flagship had just landed. Bold, Maddox thought. He checked his rifle. 4 rounds left. 1 for Valcor. 3 for leverage. Then he activated the holobeacon. A second Maddox shimmered into view on a nearby rooftop, pacing, rifle in hand. Coalition sensors would light up like a war drum. Right on cue, the arc blades dropped in. 4 of them, heavy armor, full sprint, straight toward the decoy. They never noticed the glint from Maddox's scope. He fired once. The lead soldier's knee shattered, flipping him forward. The second shot caught the next one in the visor. By the third round, they'd scattered, too late. The fourth triggered the pressure plate below. Boom! Shrapnel ripped through the squad. Screams cut the air. Maddox didn't look. He was already shifting position, sliding into the next perch overlooking the flagship. There, standing alone in the scorched courtyard, was Valcor. No helmet. No escort. A trap? Obviously. Maddox opened the line. You know, I expected more drama. Valcor looked up, calm, composed. You wanted my attention. Now you have it. Should have sent flowers. Valcor took a slow step forward. You're outnumbered. Surrounded. Your allies are gone. What's left, Ghost? Maddox grinned. The part where I win. He fired. Valcor blurred, moving with inhuman speed. The shot clipped his shoulder but didn't drop him. Shields flickered, body twisting as he rolled behind wreckage. A beat later, arc blades descended from the rooftops, ropes hissing, weapons drawn. Maddox Dove rolled behind a vent stack and returned fire. 2 dropped. A third clipped his thigh, heat flaring up his leg. He grunted, bit down, kept moving. Another flashbang exploded nearby. Maddox blinked, vision swimming. A shadow loomed. Valcor. The alien commander stepped through the smoke, blade drawn. No more tricks, Terran. No more shadows. Maddox raised his pistol, fired. The round bounced off Valcor's shoulder plate. The second ricocheted from his chest. Valcor swung. Maddox ducked, the blades slicing a lock of hair. He tackled the alien, driving them both into a rusted pillar. They rolled, traded blows, steel on flesh, bone on metal. Maddox jammed a flare into Valcor's side and ignited it. The alien screamed, armor flaring. Maddox broke away, limping, bleeding, but moving. He made it to the edge of the platform, where one last gift waited, a manual detonator. He turned. Valcor stood again, armor scorched, eyes blazing. You lose, Valcor growled. Maddox raised the detonator. Wrong game, he said. He pressed the switch. Below, the tower's foundations erupted. Charges he'd set earlier, beneath fuel tanks, under beam supports, ignited in a chain of controlled blasts. The platform shook. The tower groaned. Maddox sprinted, just far enough to dive through a maintenance hatch as the entire upper floor collapsed behind him, taking Valcor with it. Silence. Then rubble, settling. Maddox crawled from the vent, gasping. Blood soaked his pant leg. His arm screamed with pain. But he was alive. And the commander wasn't. He reached a small rise overlooking the burning courtyard. The flagship lay in ruin. Coalition forces scattered, leaderless, disoriented. He pulled out his comm and recorded a final message. To the Coalition. You sent armies. I sent you home. Your commander's dead. Your soldiers ran. And if you come back, I'll still be here. Laughing. He sent the message. Then he dropped his rifle. A symbol. A warning. And disappeared into the smoke.